Welcome back. Already reeling under a heavy debt burden and exorbitant cost of guarantees, the Karnataka government is now facing heat over CSR fund decision. Bengaluru civic body BBMP is seeking corporate social responsibility funds in partnership with private firms to build and maintain roads. The 12 Bengaluru roads have been identified for maintenance model. BBMP will grant private companies branding space instead for them to be able to build and manage these roads. Firms will have to maintain footpaths and cycle lanes. And the cost estimated for the plan is around 50 lakhs per kilometer per year. Now, this move has sparked a controversy regarding the implications of using what is CSR funds meant for other purposes for even basic things like road constructions and not social welfare initiatives. Critics argue that CSR funds should be directed towards social upliftment projects, while others view this as a necessary use of resources for community betterment. Let's also take a look at why this move is coming under greater scrutiny, because remember, the new Karnataka government, Congress government, has already been criticized quite a bit for a very hefty cost to the exchequer for the 5 big guarantees that they promised to the public, and they seem to have been successful in being voted to power. The state is already under deep debt. We'll obviously know the extent of the debt next financial year after the costs of these guarantees is calculated. But take a look at the cost of these guarantees that the Congress government has found quite problematic to implement. Lakshmi scheme with an estimated annual expenditure of 30,000 crore rupees. That is providing 2,000 rupees to a woman head of a family. 14,000 crore annual expenditure is estimated for the Jyoti scheme, which is free electricity up to 200 units. 10,000 crore annual expenditure for Anna Bhagya scheme, which is providing 5 kilograms of additional food grains to those eligible. Shakti scheme, which assures free travel for women on state buses, estimated allocation of about 4,000 crores annual expenditure. So while all of that is going on, it seems the state has little money to even build and keep up roads. Is this because the guarantee schemes are burdening the state? That's the big question we take forward with our guests. Madhu N. Rao is spokesperson of the BJP joining us. Bhavya Narsimhamurthy from the Congress party. I also have B.S. Arun, senior journalist, joining us. Bhavya, I want to begin with you. Just last month in December, there was also reports that the government wants to use CSR funds for the refurbishment of health centers in certain districts. Now the report comes that you want CSR funds for road upkeep and, to build roads. Why don't you have the money to do this and let CSR funds be used for what they're meant for? Bhavya, I think you've muted yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
So I want to set some facts straight here. So under BBMP, there are 18,000 kilometers that comes under BBMP. And this particular news that we are speaking about, it's about 12 to 13 kilometers. I have spoken to the genuine sources from where I have got this information that the BBMP is not asking for CSR fund due to dearth of funds in BBMP. When we can do 18,000 kilometers, 13 to 12 kilometers won't be a problem. And this also is not for the asphalting or, maintenance of the roads. This is for the footpath. Usually these, even before the CSR rules came out in 2004, there was a social responsibility exhibited by companies where they maintain these footpaths during S.M. Krishna sir's regime when he was the chief minister. The same thing, if the corporates come forward, it was only for 12 to 13 kilometers that they've been given a chance to exhibit what they want to portray there. Like they want to do these.
If I have it correctly, this is a pilot project.
That.
If I have it correctly, this can be called a pilot project, right?
This is not. So basically, they want to come and showcase. This is not at all because we are dearth of funds.
Okay.
Not at all. Because
1 second.
12 to 13 kilometers.
It may be 12 to 13 kilometers today, but what is the guarantee? It may be 12 roads today, Bhavya, but what is the guarantee that this will not be expanded?
Because if it does not come under law, nothing can be expanded. Like, how can the government go against what's there under the CSR rule?
So
Right?
why
Even if it
is it
doesn't
legal
come,
today or not?
that's exactly I'm saying. That will only happen once these corporate people come and present what exactly they want to do. If it does not come under the legal precedence, then we are not going to take it up.
Okay, then
And
what
it is not
explains the
the
fact?
roads.
Okay,
Let
you
me
are
make
saying
it
this
very
is
clear.
not because the
It is not for
BBMP
the
does
road.
not have
It's
money.
only to maintain the footpaths, that too only 12 kilometers.
I get
This
your
is what
point, but activists in
yeah.
Bengaluru are talking about why even those 12-kilometer or 12 roads worth footpaths should be maintained by CSR funds when those funds can go for other
We
activities which are
understand
needed
they
by the
will be
public.
maintained.
Plus,
Okay.
what is the responsibility of the BBMP? If the BBMP has the money to do this, is it not their responsibility? Will they not be held accountable?
Exactly, that's what we are saying. We just want to show if they want to partner, how is it they are going to do? Because they have come up with this, they're just going to give them a chance to tell us how they want to go about this. And
Why
if
but?
they present what they propose is not according to law, we will not be considering. And the
Shouldn't
whole
the
point
government
of
know this
how BJP is
beforehand, before you're
portraying
even considering this, whether it is legal or not?
so that's exactly what I'm saying. So asphalting or the roads do not come under this. It's
Okay.
only to maintain the footpath, the cleanliness part of it, and the
Shivani.
social,
Okay.
what the CSR is.
Okay,
And the
I
whole
take your
point that
point, but
BJP is making,
I
the
mentioned
whole
before I
point
came
that
to you.
BJP is making about
Bhavya,
dearth
one
of
second.
funds
I
is
mentioned
just
before I
not.
came to you, there is a report from December, roughly 2 weeks ago, where the Karnataka Health Department said it is proposing to enhance the infrastructure of government health centers by utilizing CSR funds from private companies. Now, can you please explain to me the rationale behind that?
Has it, can you please mention what exactly has been written there if it is against the CSR rules? Is
I'm
it?
not asking you whether it is legal or not. It is the question about why should you use CSR funds?
Oh God.
It is a health sector. If CSR funds are allowed there, I don't see anything wrong in it.
But
If
why
it is
should the
legal,
CSR funds fund the Karnataka Health and Family Affair Department? Where is the budget of the department?
nothing is
Where is
about
the
the roads.
accountability of that department?
It is about the roads. There is no dearth of funds. And like the BJP is claiming, there is no dearth of funds. For someone who maintains 18,000 kilometers of road, 12 to 13 kilometers is not a burden. That is something very
Okay.
common. It's a common sense,
Okay,
you
not
know.
due to funds. Okay, I want to bring in Madhu also. Madhu, I'm quoting from this report. She's saying that this roads initiative is just a pilot project to see where we can take this. It's private public participation. And there are other models of this kind, but not due to fund crunch. But I'm not understanding why there were CSR funds being proposed for health centers as well. And 200 government health centers across the state were to be refurbished using 100 crore rupees of CSR fund. So I'm
Shivani,
not understanding why
Shivani,
government is using CSR funds. Those
Shivani,
CSR funds are supposed to be for non-government activity. Those activities outside of the government sphere.
good evening, Shivani. I just heard what my friend Bhavya was talking. Kindly give me uninterrupted time of 1 minute. I wouldn't take much of time. The point is this: there is a corrupt government, confused CM, super confused DCM, rattled MLAs, bankrupt party, and a broke BBMP. This is what if I can attribute to what is happening in Karnataka. Point one. Point two. I may perhaps have to tutor the Congress party and Siddaramaiah and Mr. DK Shukumar. Kindly go and see what Schedule 7 of Companies Act of 2013 says. I think perhaps they do not know what Section 135 says. I am not too legal, but then let me tell you this one. It is to be used for NGO activities. These people do not have money to give 100 grams of rice. And they are telling about 18,000 kilometers. For heaven's sake, even 13 kilometers of road, of 12 roads, they are not able to maintain from the funds. What else can we expect from this government, Shivani? I mean, haven't we seen MLAs begging for the funds from DK Shukumar and DK Shukumar telling, please don't ask me funds this time? Haven't we seen 11,500 crores, what was earmarked for the SC/ST development? That money has been utilized by this government. What shamefulness can this be attributed to this government? I mean, I'm really not able to understand. Finance department of this Karnataka government says there is no money. Please don't do this guarantee. And of all, what do? Robbing Peter to pay Paul. I did not say that. Mr. Amrendra Singh Raja Waring, who was the president of Punjab Congress, he said that to the AAP government. Same thing, perhaps you are asking the same government in Karnataka. What are you doing? Where is the money? You do not have money to pay farmers. You do not have money to pay electricity companies. You have not paid ESCOMs. Where are the money going? Is this the proprietary? Is it the proprietary? What expected from Mr. Siddaramaiah, who was given 14 times budget? I'm shocking. I'm really shocked about it.
1 second, Bhavya. I'll give you an opportunity to respond. Bhavya, 1 second. B.S. Arun has not spoken. I'll give you an opportunity. B.S. Arun has not spoken. B.S. Arun, I see that a lot of civic activists are really not liking the idea of using these CSR funds for road maintenance, footpath maintenance, whatever may be the actual modality. Because the question they're asking is twofold. One, this is the responsibility of the government and of the agencies that get our tax money to do exactly this job. This is the bare minimum. Maintaining footpaths is the bare minimum. It's not like anybody is asking you to add flower beds that are blooming 12 months of the year or any luxury. And if you pass on this responsibility to private players, who do you hold accountable then? Who does the citizen hold accountable and go to and say you were supposed to do this and this, this much and at this standard? This is like outsourcing government work.
Well, Shivani, actually, I'm not too perturbed by this, BBMP inviting tenders for these TenderSURE roads. These are all special roads. They are not normal roads. They are specially constructed. All these, the electricity, the water pipes, they all come under one duct. And there is a proper footpath where, only people walk, not the bikes or any other vehicles, cycles or any other vehicles. So these are all special roads. I don't know whether this has come up in any other city. It's only in Bangalore, perhaps. So these will be maintained. And what is the cost? Cost is about 5.5 crore per year. And there are hundreds of, companies in Bangalore which can fund this, number one. Number two, already there are many roads, many medians of these important roads, many roundabouts, which have been maintained by the corporates, by these companies for so many years, for decades, actually. So I don't see anything wrong in this. But what perturbs me is that what you mentioned about this health sector.
Yes.
And last month there was a report saying that 11,000 crore rupees meant for the SC/ST department welfare has been diverted. These are the kinds of things that really are a matter of concern, and not the small money that's spent of the CSR for these roads and medians. So that's not the issue.
Okay. Bhavya, you wanted to come in? Let Bhavya come in one more time and then I'll allow Madhu to respond as well. Yes, Bhavya.
I would like to tell Madhu, before tutoring the chief minister who has presented 14 budgets, or the deputy chief minister who has so much experience and who is, a deputy chief minister of Karnataka, please get your basics straight. First thing, BBMP has its own budget.
Please tell me a provision where it can be spent for roads. I will challenge Bhavya.
Like I did.
Please,
let her finish.
Without interrupting the way I did. Right?
Carry on.
Next time you come to a debate, please get your facts straight.
Carry on, come on. Carry on, please.
You say BBMP has crunch of funds. Please show me where you say this particular statement. From where you got this resource? Don't tell me your WhatsApp.
I will show you documents.
Let me tell you where
broke BBMP.
And this was only to give a chance to the corporate companies to showcase their new technology which they have proposed. We have only said 12 kilometers out of 18,000.
I get your point. But this is not to say that the CSR use of CSR funds was not floated as an idea for other sectors as well. I've just quoted the health centers issue. But I have limited time, so I'll give Madhu 1 minute to respond. Madhu, very quickly.
I will challenge.
Is there any proof that the BBMP is out of funds? It is supposed to be a pretty rich body. And is there any proof that they're doing this because they don't have funds?
Are Shivani, what are we talking? I would expect the Congress party to read the CAG report. Point 1. Point 2. let me challenge the Congress party. Please show me a provision in Schedule 7 of the Companies Act where it says that money can be spent for road purposes. It is only road awareness
It's not
camp.
road
I mean,
purpose,
they
it's
don't
a
even know the
footpath purpose. That's
legalities.
exactly what
Come
I'm
on,
saying.
come on. This is
Yes,
the IQ level of Congress. I cannot help. The point is only simple.
IQ,
There
you want
has
to
been
talk
a
about my
diversionary
IQ?
tactic by this
Now,
government.
when I'm
The
giving you
One
government
by
is
one,
example,
please.
banked.
Bhavya, let him finish
figure,
now,
when
please.
I'm telling you it's not
Bhavya,
for
let
road,
him
it's for
finish
the
now,
footpath, the
please.
maintenance of
The
the
government is
cleanliness of the
bankrupt.
footpath and
They
not
are
road.
rattled.
Not
They do not
road.
know what to do. They do not have money in their coffers. I would ask a question to Bhavya. What is the role of Mr. Surjewala to come and sit in the BBMP meeting? What was transpiring? What was the money transaction for? So
You
let's
know,
come to
Mr.
the
Mahesh,
basics.
instead of
It is a
converting the
corrupt
issue,
government at the end of the
I
day. There
just
has
asked
been a
you
diversion
one
of money.
question.
Where has the money
Show
gone?
me a
If
source
these
which
people
tells
cannot give
you
100 grams
that
of rice,
BBMP
if
is
these
running
people
out of
cannot
money.
give 12
Please show me
kilometers
a
of
source
road,
which tells
what else can they
BBMP is
provide?
trying.
If they are wanting to outsource the roads, they can as well
The
outsource the
whole
government.
question
Let
Okay,
Sidra
one
Maiya
is
sit
second.
that
Can I
down
if
just
the
come in?
and give
government
the
It's not as
mentioned
information
that
to the
if, one
BBMP
corporate.
second,
is
can I
running
Why
just
out
are
come
of
you
in?
money.
required?
Just lower the volume. It's not as if the BBMP has set some spectacular standards on civic, facilities that are provided in Bengaluru, that they now want to hand over this responsibility to corporates. They should be setting an example of what they can do. The
Let them
level
fill the
of
potholes.
They
potholes
said
in
that
roads
they're going
Let
to
them fill
hand
the
and the
over
potholes
fact
this to
that
first.
wires are
corporate.
hanging over
This is
people's
exploring
head
what
is a
new
day-to-day affair, and we've
technology they
covered
have.
these stories. But I have 30 seconds left. I want to go across to BS Arun. Forget this CSR initiative alone. Is the financial health of this government a problem, which they're just deferring?
That could be the case. As it is, so much of money is being spent for these guarantees, and whether guarantees are good or not bad, that's a different debate altogether.
Right.
But the kind of money that's being spent from the budget, from the people's pockets, I think is quite alarming, and I hope the government will make good that amount from some of the other methods through which they raise funds. But so far, they have not given they have not shown any examples of
Okay.
raising funds. So that is a matter of
Yeah.
concern, greater concern here.
Okay. You can have these guarantees, but you have to show how you're going to fund them without taking away from somebody else or what is actually needed otherwise in other parts of the budget. I do thank all of our guests for joining us. We'll see where this initiative goes. But I do end this show with a reminder that King Khan of Bollywood, Shah Rukh Khan, is going to be present at CNN News 18's marquee event, Indian of the Year 2023.